A week ago, I made a video about how I got the Air Penny 2s for way under retail, so I thought why not make a top 10 video of all the Air Jordans that you can get for under retail right now. Saving money and looking good, there's nothing like it. The top 10 on this list is generally going to consist of shoes that came out in 2022. And that's because even if older shoes were not hyped and didn't sell well, the fact that there's less supply of those shoes means their resale value is going to be inflated anyway and eventually over retail. So most of the shoes on this list is from 2022. And remember, this is just my opinion, so keep that in mind. Number 10 is the Air Jordan 2 Union Grey Fog. This shoe released on May 26th of 2022 for $225, and it consists of a mix of durable canvas and rich suede. So from the toe box up until the mid panel, it is durable canvas. From the mid panel all the way to the mudguard, it is rich suede. And where you usually see faux lizard skin on an original Air Jordan 2, they've replaced it with perforations and that rich suede material. Now, even though I like this colorway, I think it's very unique, I think it's loud without being too loud, I can see why people didn't like them, and I can see why this didn't perform as well as other Union and Jordan brand collaborations. In my most recent video about the Air Jordan 2 Chicago, I stated that I don't really like that faux lizard skin. But if I had to choose between that faux lizard skin and the perforations on this shoe, I'm taking that faux lizard skin on that mid panel any day. I really don't like these perforations. I think it's too much. It looks too congested. Not my thing. Another reason why I think this shoe didn't do well is because of that circle stitching on the upper sole. I think it kind of looks like pimples on shoes. It's just a lot, it's too much, and that's probably the worst thing about this shoe in my opinion. The third reason is it's an Air Jordan 2 silhouette. Probably the least desired out of all Air Jordans from 1 to 14, so expectations weren't that high to begin with. Overall, I think this shoe tried to do too much, but I still like the colorway. I think it is different, so I managed to squeeze it into my top 10 list. Number 9 is the Air Jordan 7 Afrobeats. This shoe released on October 22nd for $210, and I liked it. In fact, I liked it so much, I spoke with my wallet. I bought a pair of these on release day for full price. I was probably one of 100 people that actually liked them and paid full price for them. But I really liked the tan color. I liked the theme behind this shoe, which was a tribute to the music genre Afrobeats. And to top it all off, there is Nike Air branding on the booty. The official colorway and material for this shoe is Vachetta Tan. A lot of people thought that Vachetta Tan would turn brown in a few years, and I'm not sure if that'll happen, but honestly, even if it did, I think it'll still look good. Now, I recently saw these shoes going for $140, so that's $70 off retail. I can't remember where I saw it, but I believe it's one of those big retail chains like Jimmy Jazz, Snipes, or DTLR, so if you want a pair of these, definitely do your research. You'll be able to get a great bargain on them. Number 8 is the Air Jordan 3 Winterized Archeo Brown. Jordan brand and the colors. These released on October 10th for $210. Now, this shoe consisted of a water-resistant mesh under the leather that's meant to be suitable for all weather conditions. Now, as someone that lives in the northeast of the United States where it snows and rains a lot in wintertime, I appreciate Jordan brand making a shoe like this on a very popular silhouette like the 3, and I generally like this shoe, but there's one big flaw, and that's that pink, purplish, violet looking color. Now, I'm not an expert on color theory, but I'm pretty sure that violet does not fit with that brown. It sticks out like a sore thumb, and that's the reason why I still haven't gotten it, even though I could get it for under retail. Overall, I really like this brown, I really like the black, I really like the practicality, I really like Air Jordan 3s, but I do not like that violet, so I couldn't put it any higher than the number 8 on my list. Number 7 is the Air Jordan 1 Heirlooms, and they released on September 23rd for $180. Now, it seemed like Nike really wanted these to be hyped and exclusive because they only released it in certain Nike partner stores. So it was kind of hard to get, and I really like this colorway. And again, I spoke with my wallet. I purchased a pair of these for full price, but I love this tan and black colorway. And the biggest reason why people didn't like this shoe is the black on this shoe is made out of denim. I don't know why Jordan brand decided to go with denim for this shoe. Do I prefer other materials over this denim? Yes. Is it enough to dissuade me from getting it? No. Essentially, I like this colorway so much I could overlook the denim. I think it's very easy to wear with so many outfits. I recently saw this pop up on a resale platform for way under retail, like $60 or $70 under retail. So if you like these, I strongly recommend you do your research. You can get a great bargain. Number 6 is the Air Jordan 1 Stealth, which released on August 30th for $170. And once again, I spoke with my wallet. And the greatest part about this shoe is its simplicity. It literally has the name Stealth in the shoe. So it's meant to be subtle, but I also think that's the reason why people didn't love these. There was no collaboration, it wasn't that unique. It's literally a white and gray pair of shoes, but I'm a simple person, so I didn't mind paying $170 for a shoe I knew I was going to wear a lot. And one thing I have to point out about this shoe, for some reason, Jordan Brand decided to go great leather for this particular pair of Jordan 1s. And I know I'm not the only person that thinks this, because I've seen other sneaker reviewers talk about the Stealths and how great the leather is. These restock all the time on Nike.com, so if you keep your notifications on and during holiday season, definitely try that discount code. You'll be able to get it under retail. Number 5, Air Jordan 7 Citrus. These released on August 13th for $200, and this shoe first dropped in 2006. And it was the first time they retroed these, and I understand if in 2006 you were way too young for this shoe to have any nostalgia or bring back any memories, but in 2006 I wasn't old enough to buy these myself, but I was old enough to remember other people having them, and I really wanted them. So when they retroed, I had to grab a pair, and I spoke with my wallet again. Now admittedly, I don't think this is the greatest colorway. All black shoes tend to not do well for a reason, and the yellow and red kind of remind me of Doritos. I know a lot of people don't like the yellow stitching on this shoe. For me, I think the yellow stitching makes it pop. If it was all black, I think it would have been worse. But I mainly bought this shoe for nostalgic reasons. The black is all suede. I got it for $140, so $60 off retail. It was during one of Nike's seasonal sales at the end of last year. So this spot, I'll admit, it's mainly due to my bias and my nostalgia and the fond memories that this shoe gives me. Number 4 is the Air Jordan 5 Concord. They released on August 6th for $200, and Nike does this thing where they copy and paste a legendary color to nearly every single silhouette. And this is another example. In fact, they just did this recently. They took the true blue that originally released on the Air Jordan 3 35 years ago, and they copied and pasted it onto the Air Jordan 1, which are actually releasing this weekend. And judging from what I can see, nobody's hyped for them. So this is a message to Jordan Brand. You can't just Control-C, Control-V your way to consumers' hearts. You can't. You can't just copy and paste colorways. It doesn't work. They took the legendary Concord, shoved it onto the Air Jordan 5 silhouette, and I can see why they didn't do so well. Most people aren't willing to pay $200 for a pair of white sneakers with a little bit of color if they're not an OG colorway, if it's not a collaboration, and it's just a general release. And this is exactly what the Air Jordan 5 Concord is. Now this has the usual 3M reflective tongue. Unfortunately, no Nike Air branding on the booty. The leather on this Jordan 5 is okay. I've definitely seen better leather on Air Jordan 5s. Now I am biased for Air Jordan 5s. I think they're probably my favorite silhouette now. They've overtaken the Air Jordan 1. There's something about the spikes and the shape that I really love. These have been sitting on Nike.com for a while, maybe not all sizes, but they do restock. And I know I've seen them pop up on different sneaker boutiques. It's a very simple shoe, easy to wear with a lot of outfits. Number 3 is another Air Jordan 5, and this time it's the Air Jordan 5 Jade Horizon. This shoe released on April 9th for $200 in 2022, and as soon as I saw photos of these, I knew I had to get them. So I spoke with my wallet, I purchased these for full price, and I'm just a big olive fan. Anyone that knows me knows I wear black, gray, white, or olive t-shirts most of the time, so this shoe was made for me. The white spikes and the yellow aged sole I think work really well together. The 3M reflective tongue really makes the shoe pop. I think the main reason people didn't buy these is because of how hard it is to wear. But if you're a fan of olive, you'll be able to pair this with something else. I've seen people online comment and say that this colorway looks like vomit. I think that's heinous, I think that's blasphemy, and I honestly think this is one of those shoes where in 3 to 5 years time, people are gonna realize they slept on these. If you are on the edge about getting these, I really think you won't regret it. Number 2. I'm actually about to do this. Number 2 is the Air Jordan 5 Crimson Bliss. These released on November 28th for $225. And we all know why this shoe didn't do well, and it's because of these 3 words: we the best on the booty of the shoe. The DJ Khaled association I think really hurt this shoe, but if you can overlook the heel, if you can overlook the Khaled association, I highly recommend you give these another look. I like them so much I doubled up. I think the colorway inspired by Miami is so unique. The blue spikes really go well with the rest of the shoe, and the best thing about this shoe is the quality of leather that they used. It is probably the best quality leather I've ever seen on a pair of Air Jordan 5s. And one unique thing about this Jordan 5 is they don't have that bubble sticking out on the side of the shoe. So on the normal Jordan 5, you'll see this bubble sticking out, but on the Crimson Bliss, you'll see that it's flat. And I honestly prefer this. I think it makes the shoe look sleeker, and on foot and in hand, I promise you this is better than photos. This is one of my favorite purchases of 2022. Despite the heel, despite we the best on the booty of the shoe. And honestly, if you hate those 3 words on the heel, the other shoe comes with Nike Air branding, so it kind of balances out. Number 1, Air Jordan 7 Cardinal. Now I think the fact that this didn't sell out and is still sitting on Nike.com and pretty much everywhere, and going for under retail in certain sneaker shops and definitely on resale platforms is kind of a microcosm for sneaker culture. And what I mean by that is there are a lot of sneakerheads nowadays that are so far removed from MJ's playing days that they don't have any memories or realize any significance of the Jordan 7 Cardinals. Like, this means nothing to them. A lot of slightly older sneakerheads that probably would be clamoring for these shoes might have moved on in life, kids, jobs, bills to pay, family. People's priorities change when they get older, and maybe not everyone's still checking on sneakers like they used to. And I think that, in combination with a younger crowd, resulted in one of the best shoes ever, an OG colorway, a shoe that is historically significant in sneaker culture, sitting, and they're still sitting, on Nike.com. It's kind of bittersweet that this didn't do so well. On one hand, it's kind of sad seeing these shoes that I put on a pedestal when I was younger, when I was a kid, just kind of losing its luster and glory. But it's sweet in the fact that the more people hate shoes that I love, the easier it is for me to get. Now, this released in December of 2022. It was one of my final purchases of the year. I haven't had a chance to put these on and wear them outside. You can see that I still have the shoe tree in the shoe, but man, am I glad I got a pair of the Air Jordan 7 Cardinals, and I really will consider doubling up. Just the nostalgia, just the memories, just the significance of this shoe. I couldn't put any other shoe on my number 1 top 10 Air Jordans for under retail. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you think I missed any shoes, if you think the order was wrong, if you think the list is garbage. Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And remember, wear your shoes.